Andrea Sneiderman is now a prisoner of the state of Georgia. Just a few hours ago, a judge sentenced her to 5 years behind bars, minus about a year for time served. Now, a jury convicted her on perjury and other charges tied to her husband's murder. And before the sentencing, she begged the judge to go easy on her for the sake of her children.
Sophie and Ian desperately need me to help fill that role for them. They have already suffered so much.
Now, you see that, folks? She sniffled, she sobbed, she appeared to cry. But was her emotion real, or was it just an act? Don't take my word for it. Let's bring in a body language expert, Sue Constantine, one of the best in the business. Sue, good to see you. And Sue, during Sneiderman's statement, there didn't appear to be any actual tears. She doesn't wipe her nose, use the tissues in front of her. Does it look to you like she was really crying?
No, this is what I would call histrionics here, Ryan. And you don't see any tears. She gets herself so revved up. You might even see her kind of breathing and her chin kind of drops like, and this is all the part of her histrionics. So it's not believable, because here's the thing. Did it make you feel, when you were listening to her, empathy or compassion, or that she was sad? And I'm going to tell you, no. Most everyone will say to you that they didn't feel a thing. And that's the barometer you should use. And the reason why I'm telling you that is you didn't see any sort of expressions on her face of sadness. There was no pinching of the eyebrows, which would cause wrinkling in the forehead. It was not authentic. It wasn't sadness. So it was histrionics.
And you mentioned earlier, when we were talking to our producer, something about her chin that stood out to you.
Yeah, and that's part of the histrionics. When you get yourself revved up so much that you're into yourself, this is part of this whole theatrical thing that she's doing. It's just like she's taking in her breath. It's just like this kind of thing. She's got herself so worked up. That's why you're seeing her chin move that way. It's not deception. It's histrionics. There's a difference there, Ryan.
Interesting. So let's contrast her demeanor today with how she acted when she testified at Hemi Newman's murder trial. Take a look at this, Sue. Here's a clip of that testimony from last year.
Whose boss kills someone else's husband? I don't care, affair or no affair. There was no affair. Who kills someone else's husband?
Okay, and if we can, I want to show the other soundbite from her today. So let's cue that up so we can see that.
I was shocked when the prosecution began attacking me and making me the focal point of Mr. Newman's trial. Without an attorney to object to the inappropriate and irrelevant questioning, I fought back and I tried to defend myself.
Her demeanor is so interesting to me. Sometimes I think it looks like anger, but Sue, what do you make of the difference between her today and when she was testifying in Hemi Newman's trial?
Well, first of all, the very first was defensiveness, okay? And she also has a defense mechanism also, and it does appear to be angry. And that's why it's really great when you guys have us as body language experts on, we can tell you the difference. Her mouth is not stretched and horizontal. Her eyes are not cinched and pinched. That's anger. What I'm not seeing, at the very beginning, the first one, you see these very exaggerated gestures. That's the theatrical part of it. And the shoulder shrugging, the great big gestures, that's the theatrics. And then there's that, she comes across as being angry. But again, you don't see the signs of being angry. So people would misinterpret that. That's defensiveness. Now, today, when you're looking at her gesturing, it's false sadness. She's pleading, but she's not really pleading, because you're not seeing a sense of sadness. Her chin would be wrinkling up. Her eyebrows would be pinched together. You would see horizontal lines. You'd see the chins kind of drop as if their face is almost melting off. You're not seeing that at all. But she does tend to be guarded. You see her arm up on the table, and then she's clenching her hands. And then what she's doing, she's trying to withhold her anger and her frustration. But the thing is, she's got her hands out, so she's kind of creating this barrier between herself and the state attorney.
Interesting. So trying to give that sense of remorse, sadness, but maybe the defiance mixed in as well. Sue, thank you so much. Always good to talk to you.